Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of any future shows. Feel free to leave comments down below, and please smash that thumbs up.
Good evening, folks.
I just spent most of the day driving people around, driving drunks home, driving people home from the airport, driving people to the hotel from the airport. I'm pretty tired. 1 o'clock in the morning. I just wanted to get on here and have a look and talk about what's going on currently, because it's just oh, let me do this first. There we go. It's crazy. It is crazy. Look at this line. That is just nuts. Look at that. Just a tug of war still going on. Look at how this, look at the volume just dropping into nothingness down here. What do we get? The last volume was 114,000. 114,000 level. These are 30-minute candles. So this is 2, 3 hours right here. This is 3 hours worth of volume right here. I mean, it ended up green, but look, since I left, since I posted my video earlier that it was going to drop, it has dropped because it was up around 54 or 55, right around here. So now we're down at, what is that, 53, but it's been, what, 52 to 53. And there's a lot of red right here. I mean, the green is what I would refer to, the trend analysis people call bouncing off an imaginary line resistance. I call that resistance. This is resistance right through here. All this this green. They're refusing to drop. Well, I guess it would be the red, really. Either one, the volume. The green implies that the price is remaining high. That's what I'm referring to as resistance. The price is not dropping. That is really solid to stay in that tight of a margin for as long as it's staying. You know, but I don't think it's going to stay like that for very long. It's only a matter of time. It's already starting to creep down. It's only a matter of time before it drops. And I got to tell you, I want it to drop. And those of you with a bunch of money invested in Bitcoin, you're probably thinking, I don't want it to drop. That means I lost money. No, this is a numbers game. However much you have, I mean, it's a long game. You can't be looking at wanting to hold Bitcoin for a week or a month and, you know, sell it when it's, you know, sell out whatever you've made and that kind of thing. It's a long-term thing. When I get into any of these cryptocurrencies, my goal is to just have numbers so that when it does go up, that's when I'll sell. When it gets up to when it goes through the roof and it's worth a bundle, that's when I'll start selling it. And I won't sell all of it. You know, I'll sell just a little bit here and there, you know, enough to help me pay bills and that kind of stuff. So if I owned, let's say I owned 1 Bitcoin, and I bought it at 10,000, I still wouldn't be concerned right now, because I know it's going to go back up. I wouldn't care if it's dropped to 500. If it drops to 500, I'm buying more Bitcoin. You know, that's the way I would look at it. If it dropped to $10, I would buy mini Bitcoin because I know it's going to go back up. It can't help it but go back up. That goes for most of the altcoins too. Most of the top altcoins anyway. I mean, there's thousands of them. So you can't say it for all of them, but they're like the top probably 50 at least. They're going to be around a while. So no matter what happens to them right now, gotta make sure my mic is unmuted. Yeah, it is. Okay. So no matter what happens to them right now, you still have the numbers. It's not about how much you paid for that number. It's the fact that you have that number and that at some point in the future it will be worth more than you paid for it. This is kind of the I would say, as far as cryptocurrencies going, if you wanna relate it to football, we're just starting into the second quarter. And at the half is what I would call the half is when it's reached general adoption by everybody, mass adoption, where the general population has accepted it and it's being used, and it has become part of everyday society for everybody, like Facebook has, or what's some other things, Twitter, all of those things. Originally, they were just what? Facebook? What the hell is that? I remember Facebook from the early days. It wasn't even in the original version of Facebook, had nothing to do with what it is now, but it was about picking up or talking about hot girls. But it started out unknown and it went through a process of evolution, and so is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency has almost reached the point. It's reached the point where people know about it, It hasn't reached the point where it's of mass adoption, where people are all looking into how to get it and that kind of thing. That to me will be halftime. After halftime, that's when it becomes, we go through the process of transitioning from fiat to cryptocurrency only. I believe absolutely that's going to happen. However, this crash does show us something. It shows us that there is going to be a need for, something physical in people's hands in case of an emergency. In case let's say we have some major, let's say the power grid goes down. Even if it's for a day, if we have completely transitioned from fiat to cryptocurrency, when the power grid goes down, nobody can do anything. So there's going to have to be some form of physical currency that is, related to the cryptocurrency. So, I'm not sure. I don't think anyone's doing anything. I know there's something called Bitcoin Cash, but I don't know if that's supposed to be physical or if that's just what they're calling it. But yeah, I think that we need to do like in the old days when we had gold and silver certificates. You had, different denominations that were directly backed by gold and silver. I think we need to do something like that with cryptocurrency. A Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP certificate, whatever. Something that people can keep in their wallet. And if something happens, or they're out in the middle of some place that doesn't have internet, and they can't use digital, they have some form of physical version that can be exchanged for cryptocurrency that's actually in their wallet, in their digital wallet. That's something that needs to be worked on, if it isn't already. I don't know. I'm new to this too. Most of this is just my, my perspectives, what I've noticed, my analysis of what I think is going on. I could be completely wrong, but I've made 3 predictions, and within hours, all 3 of them occurred. So I think I'm batting 1,000 now. Yeah, so I think I'm doing all right. And this, to me, this is indicating something big's about to happen. I mean, it may not. Maybe this line is gonna keep on drawing like this for days and days and days. But eventually, something's gonna happen. And I think that what's going to happen is probably a price drop. And I'm looking forward to that because I want to be able to, I want Bitcoin to drop down to $100 a coin so I can, buy several coin and then have it bounce back up to 10,000, 100,000, whatever. That's what I want. Since I don't qualify for disability and all I can do is drive for Uber and Lyft since I've been crippled. That would be just what the doctor ordered, if you ask me. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about because I was kind of surprised when I got home, sat down, looked at that line. I mean, and when you set it up, when I walked in, I actually had it set on an hour, and it looked a little different. It looked a little more surprising, I thought. Well, not as much now because it's about the same. They looked very flat to me when I've got this zoomed out. That's why. Right? Let's see. Come on, fingers work. I guess not. But they look like little tiny ho-hos, ring dings. They're not candlesticks, they're ring dings or hockey pucks. That's interesting. I mean, because that means there's a reluctancy to buy, and there's also a reluctancy to sell. And that's got to give at some point. Somebody's got to do something. And here's the thing. The only way that price is going up is if somebody who wants to buy is willing to pay a higher price. And that is not going to happen while there's still panic. Not by much. I mean, you might see people go up a little bit, but nobody's going to go up. I mean, we're at 5,200. Nobody's going to go up $1,000 on a Bitcoin. Not while there's panic, not while this pandemic is out there. And I was, one of the guys I drove around today was a college student, and he said, this University of Alabama, Huntsville, he said that they're closing down the college tomorrow. Closing it down, period. No more classes at all for 2 months. So, and now the colleges, are going to have the inside scoop on what everyone is saying, how long it's going to take for this pandemic to die out. And that's assuming that everyone's quarantined, that we don't have anyone sneaking across borders and making more people sick, whatever, which is probably going to be the case. So they're looking at 2 months before they're going to resume classes. They're doing online courses now instead of classroom. So 2 months. That means we can look at a minimum of a month, minimum of 30 days of this. Something's going to change. And the only way it's going to go up is if there's no more fear, and we know that we have at least another 30 days of fear coming. Because, the pandemic's going to be in the news every day. Numbers are going to be changing. People are going to be dying. The deaths are going to be increasing. People are going to start knowing people who are sick, who have been hospitalized. All of this is going to snowball. It's going to build. It's going to get worse before it gets better, right? And on top of that, you've got the colleges closing, theaters are closing, sports venues are closing, music venues are closing. That's a lot of people that aren't making money anymore. That's a lot of people that are losing jobs. If only temporary, that has an impact on their lives. So now they can't make their car payment. They can't put food on their table. You know, it has a huge impact. I noticed tonight that there were far fewer Uber and Lyft drivers than there usually are, you know, because they don't want to be out being and put in contact with people. I worked the airport and then I took the drunks home. You know, people getting off the airplanes telling me the airplanes were only half full. That's affecting the airlines, which is affecting everybody who works for the airlines, affects everybody who contracts for the airlines, the people who make the foods for the airlines, which affects all of the, you know, the companies that process and package foods that give to these companies that put them on the air. I mean, you know, it's a big chain of events, you know, a big chain of loss going way back. And the people at the bottom of these totem poles are minimum wage. You know, it's affecting everybody. So, and even though these minimum wage people might not necessarily be involved in cryptocurrency, their friends, their brothers, their mothers, their fathers, somebody they know probably is, you know, or somebody who is definitely going to know somebody who's being affected like this. So, you know, this is going to be a big mess for at least a month. And it's going to negatively affect this, which in my opinion is really a positive effect because I want to buy it when it goes low. So y'all need to be careful about buying unless you're willing to look at it the way I do. It's about having those numbers, not about how much you pay for those numbers. So if you're buying now, if you are buying when it's at 5,000 a Bitcoin, you need to be prepared for the fact that it's probably going to drop, not panic over it, and be prepared to buy some more when it goes down again. And be confident that it's going to go up. And you got to leave it in there. If you've bought it, leave it. Because if you buy it now and think, I'm full of crap, that it's never going to go lower, it's only going to go higher, and then it does, and you sell, you just lost a bunch of money, for one. And for two, you just added to the problem. You know, you just helped it go lower. So, you know, hodling is what needs to happen right now. And hopefully these whales and the scammers and the miners are through dumping. I don't know. I just don't think that here's my problem with the whole theory that people have about miners, say miners, for instance, dumping a bunch of coin and that's what's causing the price to drop. Because if I'm a miner and let's say I have 10,000 Bitcoin and I've been holding on to it, now I decide to dump it on the market. I know you go in there and you say, this is how much Bitcoin I want to sell and this is how much I want to sell it for. Why in the world would they let it go for cheaper? They're losing money doing that. So I don't understand the philosophy that some of these other YouTubers have that it's miners dumping coin. I think miners can do it if they are using it to manipulate the price. Yes. Dumping? I don't think so. I don't think they're just dumping a bunch of coin and that's what's doing it. Because they can put how much they want for all of that coin. And it'll remain on the order book until it's sold at that price. And if nobody will pay that price, then they either have to, you know, change the price or just leave it there or delete it, whatever. But you don't just dump it on there and then all of that coin just goes for whatever like an auction. It doesn't work that way. Not that I've seen anyway. So I don't know about that whole thing. I think that they're trying, if they're responsible for that, then they're trying to manipulate the price so that they can day trade. Make the price go way down so that they can buy and then make the price go back up again so they can sell. You know, that to me is the only thing that I think whales and miners and everything are doing. Somebody speculated that the scammer, the Coin Plus scam or whatever, was responsible for this because they just dumped a bunch of coin. It's possible, but yeah, it's possible, and they might have used it to manipulate the price at the same time so they could buy low. I think that's probably possible. But the miners, I think that they're out to make money. You know, I think they could do it to manipulate the price, but not just dumping a bunch of coin. So I think it was controlled. I don't think it was just dumping a bunch of coin. Anyway, like I said, eventually this has to go one way or the other, and it ain't going up. It absolutely is not going to go up while there's still fear. It just ain't going to happen. So the only way it can go is down. So, let me see. Where's my... All right, folks, it's 1:21. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep. So until next time, y'all take it easy. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of any future shows. Feel free to leave comments down below, and please smash that thumbs up. It helps the show out.